Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I certainly am. Okay, what do we have for you on today's episode? We have for you one clip to watch, although it's a long one, but it's really good. I have to show you it. It's former FBI agent himself, Dan Bongino, and he has simply an excellent segment in which he goes over basically the things that a lot of us are thinking. Even though I'm English, as a lot of people in the Western Hemisphere, we look to the United States for strength. Okay, and we don't get that from Biden. Right, we got it from Trump. We don't get it from Biden, yeah? Because he is a globalist shill, as you well know. Now, it's beyond argument that the FBI has become politicized and that Trump supporters are being targeted and intimidated across the board. It is a relentless assault by the political left against the political right, and it's been that way for years, okay? And the right must unite. It must find its strength to start pushing back, okay? So we'll get into this clip. Sorry I haven't been uploading for some time. To be honest with you, I've been quite lethargic as of late in regards to the culture war, especially after the raid on Trump's home. The way that they rummaged through Melania's drawers, the way that they wouldn't let Donald Trump's legal team observe what they were doing, the way that they asked his team to turn off the security cameras. Why would they want that? Why would they do that? If not, if they have nefarious intentions. So let's get into this clip. If you haven't yet though, please like the video, subscribe to the Hoggcast, hit the notification bell and share the video around. There's also a membership scheme. You can become a member. There's a join button next to the sub button. I have 8 amazing, beautiful members who honour and humble me that they actually support and value my content in this quiet little corner of the internet, because I am shadowbanned and deboosted. Okay, let's go.
Folks, the FBI is lost. It's broken. Irredeemably corrupt at this point. The inexcusable raid on President Trump's home was the straw that broke the camel's back. I mean it when I say it. It's way past time to clean this FBI house up. They have burned every last shred of faith and trust freedom-loving Americans had in it. And to the libs out there, listen, don't even waste your time lecturing me on this issue. Not a second. I gaff you right off. I pay no attention to you losers, okay? No one's been a stauncher defender.
Yeah, you see that attitude? That's what I think right-wing people as a whole need to take, because people have had about enough of the wokeness, the leftism, the one-sidedness, the double standards, the double think, the hypocrisy, yeah? It's too much for a lot of people. People have just had enough, right? And you can't treat them with kids' gloves anymore. Enough. You have to start treating the left with the same gloves that they've been treating you with for a generation now, yeah?
Of FBI agents I work with than me. Go back and listen to my shows, you dipwads. I was the one defending them all the time. I've actually been a federal agent, a cop who actually put my butt on the line. But what the FBI did to Donald Trump, that wasn't law enforcement. It was tyranny.
Yes, it was. It was just a blatant overreach, beyond an overreach. What I want to know the mentality of the FBI agents on the ground. I'd really love to be able to be a fly on the wall when they're talking to their friends or family or even each other. Like, I'm talking about agent level, yeah? Because I tell you, right, I was just following orders routine. It has to, that kind of excuse, that kind of, well, it absolves me of all blame, it has to end. The concentration camp guards didn't get away with it. There's a lot of people who worked at those concentration camps in WW2 who didn't actually specifically mistreat people themselves, okay, but because they were a concentration camp guard, they went to the gallows too, yeah? And they didn't kick up a fuss about it because by that point they knew that they were on the side of evil. This is the thing, yeah? These agents, bureaucrats, whoever they are, right, who just go along with this stuff, they need to be held accountable too, right? Because I was just following orders routine. It's old. Yeah, it's old hat now, right?
Tyranny, I use the word very specifically. I use my words deliberately on this show. And like most abuses that come from the left, in this case within the FBI, We were warned about FBI corruption decades ago.
Most of our history, we didn't have those institutions. The FBI came in during the First World War, and interestingly enough, one thing that Woodrow Wilson did, he used the FBI to spy on American citizens and actually arrest them if they disagreed with his foreign policy about going to war in Europe. It almost looks like the FBI was designed to spy on Americans who might be disagreeing with policy, especially the foreign policy.
Prophetic, no? But it's not like the Democrats.
Yeah, how many times do you have to see things like that to see that this is what it's about? I mean, what do the FBI actually do, really? Right, give me something good that they do. Let me know in the comment section. I'm waiting. Let me know.
Democrats themselves haven't warned us of their abuse of power from intel agencies like the FBI. Remember this gem from Chuck Schumer right before Trump took office?
Take on the intelligence community. They have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So
amazing, this guy is so brazen and confident to say something like that on mainstream media and act like it's something to brag about. What he's essentially done is just admitted that these 3-letter agencies are essentially globalist rogue entities, right? How much more evidence do your own eyes need to see?
even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.
What do you think the intelligence community would do if they were motivated?
I don't know, but from what I am told, they are very upset with how he has treated them and talked about them.
What, are you surprised? Right, the way that what he's doing, he's playing the turn it around on the Trump voters or Donald Trump machine. This is what they do. This is what the left do. They're very good at speaking out against secondary problems, but they never deal with the original problem that they caused themselves. For example, here he's talking about the the intelligence services, these agencies are very upset by the way that the president of the United States is talking about them. So they see it as their duty to get back at an elected president, because the elected president, that was at the time, 2017, was holding them to task over their dirty and shady practices. Dirty and shady practices that he's just admitted on screen that they're going to do back to him, and what we now have seen time and time again the FBI doing. Right? So it's just unbelievable, isn't it, that they're able to get away with it. So not only that, once upon a time they used to hide all this stuff. Now it's just in your face. Yeah? They're showing you what they are. Right?
No, they're very upset. I'm very upset. I'm very upset about a lot of things. I don't go and spy on people, raid their compounds. Listen, the only way the Constitution works is if we, the people, believe it works. We understand that, right? The Constitution, there's no magic in it. It doesn't guarantee our rights. It merely acknowledges our natural born rights handed down by God. Just because the FBI can abuse its power doesn't mean it should abuse its power. And when it does, it shatters you, Americans, your faith in government institutions. This faith is holding, it's a glue that holds us all together.
Very good point. And it's not just the lack of faith now in law enforcement, but there's a lack of faith in politicians, there's a lack of faith in the mainstream media, there's a lack of faith now in science, thanks to trust the science, TM, you're not a biologist, men can get pregnant routine, you know what I mean? There's no trust even in elections, because look at all the shenanigans that were happening in 2020. Wink, wink. We all know what happened there, yeah? What the left don't seem to understand, because the left, the globalists, the message set, yeah? What they never seem to understand is their petty actions, their obsession with the right, their obsession with trying to destroy Donald Trump, conservatives, the GOP, Christians, etc., etc. They have destroyed credibility in the nation itself and all of its institutions. Way to go, leftists. You really, that was a good one. Really good.
Perhaps the late Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia said it best, quote, "The genius of the American constitutional system is the dispersal of power. Once power is centralized in one person or one part of government, a Bill of Rights, they're just words on paper." The disgraceful abuse of power by the FBI isn't new. Folks, it's been going on for decades. Here's just a quick refresher of the FBI's history here. These stories are what the FBI wasn't busy doing while they were busy working to erode the trust of freedom-loving Americans. And again, no one had been a bigger defender of the guys I worked with. No one. So hard pass for you challenging me, and I worked with them. Then, of course, there's Spygate, where we know the FBI not only spied on the Trump campaign, we have the names of the spies. But they knew the Steele dossier was fake and proceeded to drag Americans through the Russian collusion scam for years. Here's disgraced former FBI director Jim Comey bragging, he thinks he's funny, by the way, about evading White House protocols to try and entrap the Trump team. Take a look.
I can't stand this clip. You see, because I'm making a video, yeah? I'm going to play it for you guys. I mean, you've probably seen it yourself. I should imagine you have. But I'm going to play it because it's a part of this video I'm making. But if I was just watching this video on my own, I would skip past this bit because I just can't stand. This guy's as creepy as they come, this Comey, yeah? But just the whole clip is infuriating that they think they can just do this and get away with it. Because they do get away with it every time. And you GOP types, you're going to need to get tough. Okay, you've got to get tough on these people. Just wishing them away will not work.
You look at this White House now, and it's hard to imagine 2 FBI agents ending up in the sit room. How did that happen?
I sent them. Something I probably wouldn't have done or maybe gotten away with in a more organized investigation, a more organized administration, if the FBI wanted to send agents into the White House itself to interview a senior official. You would work through the White House counsel, and there'd be discussions and approvals and who would be there. And I thought, it's early enough, let's just send a couple guys over.
Yeah, he's real hilarious, real smartass there, huh? He's the FBI director, folks. Listen, that's just blatant open corruption. Again,
yeah.
The FBI's abuse of power is nothing new. I wish it were, it's not. It's been abusing its power and eroding Americans' trust for decades now. Then there's the ongoing Hunter Biden laptop probe that the FBI downplayed before the 2020 election. And now, the agency admits the contents of the laptop are real. On behalf of millions of Americans, let me say this. Of course it was real. And I have to ask, doesn't that feel just a tad bit politically motivated? Of course the laptop was real. It was turned over by Hunter Biden, who looks like Hunter Biden and signs a signature that resembles Hunter Biden. You know why? Because it's Hunter Biden. And he had an address that was Hunter Biden's with a number that was Hunter Biden's, which is kind of weird because the guy identified him as Hunter Biden. Really strange. Folks, it's just the latest example of the FBI betraying our trust.
Yeah, and they expect you to just not notice it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, this is what I said about the secondary problems. The left, they try and switch it around on you, right? The FBI, whoever it is, they try to make the problem not their corruption, their ineptitude, their disgusting behaviour. They try to make the problem your criticism of it. They try and say, oh, well, you know, you shouldn't be talking to law enforcement this way. Do you understand what I mean? It's like they expect you to just shut up and just accept it. Just accept tyranny.
Meanwhile, as they raid Donald Trump's home in Florida, the same Hunter Biden goes on vacation to sun himself with Joe and Jill on Air Force One. You getting a picture yet here? For once, Democrats actually get something right when they scream that our democracy is under direct assault.
If we do not defend it, democracy simply will not stand.
Have you noticed that these Democrats, they seem to be talking non-stop about democracy over the last couple of years. It's all projection, right? It's don't look at us, look at him, look at the Republicans. Look, we're saying how often the democracy's under threat. Look at how much we support democracy. It's smoke and mirrors, it's projection, yeah? The reason why the Democrats over the last couple of years have suddenly started waxing lyrical about the sanctity of democracy is because they're the ones destroying democracy, yeah? This is the same pattern again and again and again with left-wing people. They will, the thing that they intend to destroy, which will almost invariably be something good or decent, wholesome or honourable, they will destroy it, but then they will present themselves as the champions of that thing, whilst they're destroying it. It's such a strange juxtaposition.
My former political party is fully anti-democracy. It is a fascist political party.
The threat Trump currently poses to American democracy.
Our democracy is at risk.
Of course, they were referring to Trump, but now the left sees no problem with the FBI's grotesque abuse of power against him. So where do we go from here, folks? Listen, I get it. We can all complain and condemn the...
I'll tell you where we go from here. You have to elect Trump, MAGA, Make American Great Again candidates across the board, get rid of the rhinos, and you have to understand that we are in a culture war, that the only people who ever seem to fight is the left. Sure, every now and again a person on the right will pop their head up like Donald Trump and try to take them on, but he gets no support. The left all crowd together, then they destroy whoever it is who decides to pop their head up and speak out. Why do you think we're all shadow banned and deboosted, right? My videos don't get recommended to anyone anymore, like a lot of other conservatives. Yeah, because as soon as you poke your head up and speak out, they destroy you. This is what you Republicans need to do, yeah? And right-wing people across the pond, yeah, across both sides of the pond, you need to understand you're in a culture war. You need to start fighting back, okay? That can take a myriad of forms, and I'm not recommending violence or anything like that. The problem is, though, if you don't start pushing back, the Western Hemisphere as a whole will end up in a situation where civil war is inevitable. If you do not rebalance politically, it will happen. It will happen. Because society as a whole is completely out of balance. The left get everything. They get treated with kids' gloves. They get everything their heart's desires. And they're still not happy. They're still rioting and smashing this and doing what they like. Republicans, the silent majority, people who go to work largely in the private sector, the wealth generating sector, conservative people get treated terribly. Even though conservative people, the silent majority, they just want to live their lives in peace. But the left won't let them do that, right? So you need to forget your life of peace for a minute and start fighting back, yeah? Elect GOP candidates who are MAGA. Support Donald Trump, regardless of what they try and do to him, okay? And GOP politicians, when you get back into your rightful place in the White House, you need the strength to deal with these people. They need to be arrested, they need to be jailed, okay? Have the strength to do it.
FBI, but that doesn't fix anything. So here's some just quick ideas for you. First, Freedom of Information Act reform. You want answers from the FBI? Well, you got to get documents under FOIA.
No, I'm sorry, but no. They'll just lie. They'll just cheat. They won't play along. No Freedom of Information request. Okay, no strongly worded letters. Right? Jail times. Disband the FBI. Cancel their gold-plated pensions, okay?
Information Act. No big deal, right? Except they'll just stonewall you until you no longer need them or you die or give up or something like that. Well, we demand the truth. I want that process reformed. Second, abolish the FISA court. The FISA court's good for one thing, spying on Donald Trump. I don't have to rehash the abuses the FBI used the FISA court for to go after Trump. Folks, we've been there. We've seen it. But it's time to throw it out. You want a warrant? There's a process for that. You know what it's called? It's called getting a warrant. And it's in that thing called the Constitution. There's an app for that. I have it on my phone. I can show you. Third, fire FBI Director Wray. Yeah, listen, for all the liberal dunces out there, too, I understand. Hey, Trump appointed him. I really don't give a damn. Here's how many craps I give about that. And that's a donut. Zero. That makes zero difference to me, okay? The swamp is deep. Wray's a disgrace. His own FBI has acted with blatant bias, while he had the stones to say this.
I have communicated consistently since I started as director that our folks need to make sure that they're not just doing the right thing, that they're doing it in the right way, and that they avoid even the appearance of bias or lack of objectivity.
Is there a laugh track in the studio? James, can you pull that up for us, please?
When they say things like this, who do they think's believing it? It's like Merrick Garland when he finally addressed the disgusting raid, the politically targeted harassment of Donald Trump. There was one part in his speech where he said that the FBI go about their business something along the lines of without fear or favour. Just who believes it? Who is stupid enough to believe that?
He can't. He's laughing himself. You heard that? Finally, not just Christopher Wray, fire anyone involved in the raid. I don't want to hear.
Yes, and cancel their pensions and jail the ones at the top. Jail Pelosi for insider trading. These people who wax lyrical about nobody's above the law think they're above the law themselves. It is relentless hypocrisy.
Hear any more rank and file stuff? I was the rank and file. I saw stuff I didn't like. I left. It's not hard. You swore an oath to the Constitution. That matters. If you played any role in this raid, you should be gone. It's time to clean house. And yes, I'm saying it on this network tonight.
Yeah.
Draining the swamp has to be a top priority.
It has to be.
GOP.
It really does. I know Donald Trump had a lot of pushback when he was in office, but I love the man, but I don't think he did enough to push back on the swamp. I think he thought they would just slither away. That's not how the left works. It's not how globalists works. You've got to confront these people and deal with them accordingly.
Puts in the White House next. Listen, folks, it's hard to stand by and watch the FBI erode our trust and trample our constitutional rights. But there are some silver linings here. Polls are showing more than 70% of likely voters are motivated to vote in the midterms after the raid on Trump's home. I'm not here just to talk tough about this, folks. It's time to act. I'm talking directly to conservatives here. Don't get baited, by the way. Don't get baited into this violence nonsense. Please, do not get baited. We can't afford to get complacent and expect to just coast to victory in November. No. I'm begging you, if I wasn't stuck in this desk, this isn't my regular studio, I would genuflect and get down on my knees. I am begging you to please, God, go out and vote, and I'm not using his name in vain. Our big R God-given rights hang in the balance. And to the FBI, one final note before my guest. Get it together, man! Get it.
We'll leave it there. The clip's almost over. No, don't get it together. How about just disband the bastards? That would be my advice. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments section below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.